Alright, what is up, Internet? It's Chic at it again, and today we're diving headfirst into how to be country. Horses, hats, and all things country. I live where the closest farm animal is a pigeon. But life's about trying new things, right? Even if it means wearing cowboy boots awkwardly. Join me as I navigate country living. From wardrobe to food, music, and outdoor activities. This is how to be country-esque style. Let's do this. Okay, first things first, if we're gonna embark on this country journey, we gotta look the part, or at least attempt to look the part without looking like we robbed a Western movie costume department. I've been doing some extensive research on Pinterest. The holy trinity of country fashion is cowboy boots, cowboy hats, and flannel shirts. Sounds simple enough, but I have a feeling I'm about to make it complicated because that's what I do. I take simple things and I add spice. And by spice, I mean awkwardness and questionable choices. Let's start with cowboy boots. These aren't just shoes, people, they're a statement. They say I'm practical, but also, I might just kick a door down if I feel like it. I went to a store and the sheer variety was overwhelming. Pointy toes, square toes, round toes, leather, snakeskin, fake I hope, ostrich, again, hopefully faux stitch. And the heels. Some of them are tiny and some are like, are we line dancing or are we trying to reach the top shelf? I tried on a pair and let me tell you, walking in them is an art form. It's a specific kind of clomp that I haven't quite mastered. I mostly just sounded like a baby elephant learning to walk. Then there's the cowboy hat. Alright, now that we've kind of maybe addressed the wardrobe situation, it's time to tackle another cornerstone of country living. The food. I'm talking hearty, home-cooked meals that stick to your ribs. My usual culinary repertoire consists of cereal, toast, and occasionally microwave leftovers. So, this is going to be a significant upgrade, or a significant disaster. I've been looking up traditional country recipes and let me tell you, the internet is a treasure trove. Fried chicken, biscuits and gravy, cornbread, collard greens, pecan pie, peach cobbler. My mouth is watering just thinking about it. One thing I've noticed is that butter seems to be a key ingredient in, well, everything. And I'm not mad about it. My arteries might be, eventually, but my taste buds are throwing a party. It's all about comfort food. Food that feels like a hug from your grandma. So, for my first foray into country cooking, I decided to start with biscuits. How hard can it be, right? It's just flour, butter, milk, famous last words. I got all my ingredients, followed a recipe I found online, and got to work. Okay team, we've attempted the fashion, we've braved the kitchen, now it's time to immerse our ears in the sounds of the country music. Now, I'll be honest, my previous exposure to country music has been limited. It mostly consisted of whatever was playing in a store I couldn't escape fast enough, or that one song that gets stuck in your head for a week. I always kind of pictured it as all sad songs about lost dogs and trucks. Which I mean, isn't entirely wrong, but I suspect there's more to it, or at least, I hope there is. So I did what any modern explorer does. I dived into Spotify playlists. Country classics, modern country hits, country for beginners who are scared of banjos. Okay, I made that last one up, but it should exist. I started with some of the legends. Johnny Cash, Dolly Parton, Willie Nelson, Patsy Cline. And you know what? I was pleasantly surprised. There's a rawness and honesty there that's pretty cool. Dolly Parton is a national treasure, and anyone who disagrees can fight me. Her songwriting is incredible, and her voice is just iconic. Then I ventured into more modern country. This is where it got a bit more diverse. Alright, if we're truly going to embrace this country lifestyle, it seems unavoidable. We have to go outside, like outside. Not just walking from my apartment to the coffee shop, I'm talking about nature with trees and dirt and bugs. So many bugs. As someone whose primary outdoor activity is finding a sunny spot for my cat to nap in, this is going to be a challenge. But country living is often synonymous with a deep appreciation for the natural world. So I guess I have to at least pretend to like it. First on the agenda, fishing. The idea of fishing is kind of peaceful, right? Sitting by a calm lake, gentle breeze, the meditative swish of the fishing line. The reality for me involved untangling a fishing line for 20 minutes, being terrified of putting a worm on a hook. I used a piece of old bread instead, don't judge me. And mostly just feeding the fish my stale bread. I didn't catch anything unless you count a slight sunburn and a deep sense of inadequacy, but the birds seemed to enjoy the bread, so at least someone benefited from my efforts. Next up, hiking. So we've covered clothes, food, music, and even braved the terrifying wilderness. But a huge part of the country lifestyle, from what I gather, isn't just about it's about community, that sense of belonging, knowing your neighbors and everyone coming together for a good old-fashioned potluck or barn raising. As an introverted city dweller who sometimes considers her cat her closest confidant, this aspect is both appealing and slightly terrifying. Making new friends as an adult is hard enough, let alone trying to integrate into a potentially close-knit community. I started by researching local community events in areas that felt a bit more country than my usual urban jungle. Farmers markets seemed like a good, low-pressure starting point. Everyone's there for the fresh produce and artisanal jams, right? I figured I could wander around, buy some suspiciously large zucchini, and maybe strike up a casual conversation about heirloom tomatoes. Alright, so if I'm going to fully immerse myself in this country experiment, my living space probably needs a bit of an update. My current decor style is best described as eclectic chaos with a hint of "I found this on the sidewalk." Think mismatched furniture, band posters, and an alarming number of plants that are somehow still alive. This probably doesn't scream country charm. So it's time to explore the world of rustic and farmhouse decor. Prepare for shiplap, mason jars, and a whole lot of distressed wood, or at least my attempt at it. I, of course, turned to the internet for inspiration. Pinterest became my best friend and worst enemy, showcasing perfectly curated farmhouse kitchens and cozy rustic living rooms that look like they belong in a magazine. Everything is white or neutral, with pops of natural wood and vintage-inspired accessories. It's all very calming and aesthetically pleasing, but also seems like a lot of work. If there's one activity that just screams country, it's gotta be line dancing. You see it in movies, you hear about it in songs, people in cowboy boots and hats, all moving in perfect synchronization, stomping and twirling. It looks like a blast. It also looks incredibly complicated if, like me, you have the coordination of a baby deer on an ice rink. But in the spirit of fully embracing this country adventure, I decided I had to at least to learn a few steps. Emphasis on. My first step, naturally, was YouTube. There are countless tutorials for beginners, breaking down dances like the electric slide, a classic apparently, or the boot scootin' boogie, which sounds like a medical condition. The instructors in the videos make it look so effortless. A step here, a kick there, a turn, a clap. Alright, let's talk about another iconic symbol of country life, the pickup truck. You see them everywhere in rural areas, and they're practically a character in half the country songs I've been listening to. They represent utility, toughness, and a certain kind of freedom. My current vehicle is a small, sensible sedan that's good on gas and easy to park. A pickup truck is, well, it's the opposite of that in many ways. It's big, it's powerful, and the thought of trying to parallel park one in the city gives me cold sweats. I don't actually a pickup truck, obviously. My apartment parking spot can barely accommodate my current car, but for the sake of this experiment, I wanted to at least get up close and personal with one. So I went to a dealership just to look. Beyond the boots, the banjos, and the big trucks, there's something deeper to this whole country lifestyle I'm trying to understand: the values. You hear a lot about country values, things like hard work, honesty, family, community, hospitality, and a strong connection to the land. These aren't necessarily exclusive to country living, of course, but they seem to be particularly emphasized and cherished. And frankly, they all sound pretty great. The question is, how does one activate these values, especially if you're, well, me? Let's start with hard work. This is a big one. Country life often involves a lot of physical labor, whether it's farming, ranching, or just maintaining a large property. One of the quintessential aspects of country living, or at least the romanticized version of it, is having a connection to the land through gardening or even small-scale farming. The idea of growing your own food, nurturing plants from tiny seeds into something you can actually eat, sounds incredibly rewarding. It's like magic, but with more dirt and disappointment, probably. Given my track record with houseplants, R.I.P. Bartholomew the Fern, I approached this particular challenge with a healthy dose of skepticism and a very low bar for success. I decided to start small. Very small. Like a few pots on my tiny apartment balcony. I wasn't about to plow a field or invest in a tractor. I chose some herbs that are supposedly easy to grow: basil, mint, and parsley. The nice lady at the garden center assured me they were practically foolproof. Well, folks, that was an experience. We've journeyed through cowboy boots, biscuits, twangy tunes, nature, social encounters, rustic decor, dancing, trucks, values, and plant murder. Phew, I'm exhausted just recapping it. So, am I country? Probably not. But I learned a lot and had fun, even when I failed. Like and share for more videos like this. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one. Bye.